Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you how to create your first arrangement or beat or loop on Ableton Live. So this is the first thing that you see when you open Ableton Live. This is called Session View. And if you press Tab, you can go to the Arrangement View. So today we're going to be using the Session View so you can create your first arrangement super fast. So first, we want some drums. Go here to the left on these tabs, you have different categories like it says here. We go to drums, and we're going to drag a drum rack that is already created for us. So Ableton already has these drum racks. You can preview them. And we're going to use this 808 chord kit. You just drag it here into a MIDI channel. Wait for a little bit, depending on your computer, and boom, you have it. So now you have all these different drum sounds in here. And we're going to use some of them to create our first drum loop or drum pattern. You double click on this clip here and you'll create a MIDI clip. So on this MIDI clip here, you have the names of the different instruments that you have in here in the case of a drum rack. And here we have the time where we can place all these different instruments. So we're going to create a very basic drum pattern. Just kick on one, snare on two. Now here on this clip that you created, you can press play on it and then we can hear what we have. There you go. Just like that, you have your first drum pattern. We're going to make it a little bit more interesting. We're just going to add a hi-hat. So we're going to add a hi-hat just like this. If you select the two of them and select this measure, you can press Ctrl D to duplicate them. So you don't have to double click, double click, double click, double click. So now let's press spacebar, which is also play. There you go. You have your first drum pattern. So now we're going to add some piano. So you go here to sounds and Ableton has all these sounds for you. So let's go to piano keys and let's just grab a grand piano. There you go. This one is marked red because it's one that I use a lot and I added here to my favorites. So it's the same thing, we just drag it into the MIDI channel. Okay, so now when you have it, we do the same thing, we create a MIDI clip and now we're going to make this MIDI clip a little bit longer. To do that, you go here to the length of the MIDI clip and you can type 4. That means this is going to be 4 bars long. So now we're going to use 4 chords. A lot of pop songs use only 4 chords, even less. We're going to use the most common chord progression, which is 1, 5, 4, 6. In this case, we're going to use C as 1. So that means that our first chord will be C major. 5 means that our second chord will be G. If you don't know any music theory, you can just copy the notes that I'm writing here. Then F will be 4. And oh, sorry. Yeah, F will be 4 and A will be 6. We're just doing very basic minor and major chords. So we have C major, G major, F major, and A minor. So if we press play here on the piano clip that we created, it's going to play at the same time as the drum one. There you go. So now we can add more elements to this. This is very basic. A lot of songs have used these exact same chords, but this is how we are learning, right? So if you press Ctrl-Shift-T, you'll create a new MIDI track. So we're going to drag another element to it. Now we're going to drag a bass. So we look for a bass sound here. I want an electric bass. Let's preview them. If you click on this blue headphone here, you can select and it will play a note for you. There you go. So you just drag it to the MIDI track. And now, this is what we're going to do. Double click, make this the same length as the piano, and we're going to follow the chord progression that we have. So C, G, F, A. Okay, so yeah. So now, for example, let's say we just want to listen to the bass. I think it's a little bit high right now, like not on volume but on pitch. So press here on the square here. This will stop all the clips, and then you can press play on the bass clip, and just the bass will play. So we select all the notes, shift and down arrow will lower all these notes. So see, that was a C3 before, now it's a C2. Let's press play and listen to it. There you go. We're going to add one more element. So if you remember, Ctrl-Shift-T to add a MIDI channel. And we're going to add some... I was thinking between pads or strings. Let's add some pads. Let's see. Yeah, that's very straightforward. Let's drag that into our MIDI channel. Instead of creating a new clip and then draw all the notes that we did in the piano, the same one, the chords, we're just going to copy this clip. So Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V, just like copy and paste on any other software. And there you go. You have the chords in here. If you press double click, you can see they're the same. So we press play on this clip. Yeah, and there you have it. But let's select all the notes. Ctrl-A, if you go to the MIDI clip, and then Ctrl-A, you select all the notes. And we're going to bring them an octave higher. Let's see how that sounds. Maybe 2 octaves lower now from where we were. Yeah, I liked it higher. There you go. So now that you created all of this, you can go to this square here, stop everything, and then see how different elements sound together. So for example, drums. Let's add the pads. So now let's add the bass. So if you notice, there's this circle here. This tells you how long you have until the clip finishes. So this is just 1 bar long, so you'll see it go 1, 2, 3, 4 and finish. This will go to 16 because it's 4 bars long, right? So if pay attention to it. So now that there's 1 bar left, we could have added the piano, and then the piano would start at the same time as everything else, because that's how these clips work. Ableton have them on certain measure, so they can all be on sync, kinda play on the same BPM, so it's not a mess, and not all of them have like different rhythms, and they play at different times, different BPMs. They all follow the BPM that we have here. This is where you look at the BPM. So if we want to make this faster or slower, we will raise this number or lower this number. For example, let's put it on 80. This will be slow. And now let's put it on 140. And this will be way faster. Yeah, there you go. So on your first 10 minutes using this program, you already have your first arrangement. You can take the piano and have this. Let's lower the tempo to 100 maybe. That'll be like a nice ballad tempo. There you go, super basic arrangement. Everybody has to start somewhere, right? So with this, you can only create more and more. Okay guys, that was the video, so I hope you learned something. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I want you guys to go and create something. You can find me at Isedi on all social networks, and I'll see you guys soon.